Well, hello there, good sir.
What's going on, Mr. Stranger?
How are you? I don't recognize. Do we know each other? I think we go
um,
back. I recognize you a little bit, but I mean,
you look like this. You look like this guy who you wouldn't know him. I met him. We were playing basketball one day at USCB, the school I used
okay.
to attend. He was playing on one side of the court. I was playing on the opposite side of the court, and we were both. I think we were both shooting, and I think we both felt each other looking at each other.
Mhm.
Then one of us walked up on the other and was like trying to run a game. And then I think the rest was history. You look like that guy, but I'm not certain. I'm not certain if you're him or not.
I think I know him. He's a pretty good hooper. I know that. He's a definite baller for sure. But nah, you were. I remember you look like this guy I played football with. Actually, I went to USCB too. So I went with
Okay,
this. You look like this guy I used to play football with, and
right.
it was like the championship game, and he was scoring like 3 touchdowns a game, and he just made a Hail Mary catch. It was like the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah, you look just like him. But yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm Glenn. So we can get started.
Hey,
And
I'm Jay.
Jay, cool, perfect.
You know, some
Well,
people call me Super J, but I just go by Jay.
Super J.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Well, the modest. I can tell you're kind of humble. You just go by Jay, but people call you
yeah, I
Super
just go
J.
by.
Cool,
Mhm.
perfect. Excellent. Well, welcome to episode 118, and welcome back, everybody. It's been a been a while, been a long time going on. I would say New Year's probably. So
Right.
good little bit. We had a lot going on in that time, but yeah, we are back. Welcome, welcome, and gonna dive back in now that we're officially past the New Year's hump and fully transitioned to whatever you want to call it. We're back. So
Right. Yeah.
glad to be back.
Definitely glad to be back. A lot of stuff happened while we were gone. I was in the sports world, but most importantly, we lost a dear friend.
Hmm.
Glenn, you went to the service. I'll let you speak more on it. But I mean, first part of the show, obviously, outside of us just talking back and forth, we definitely do want to, in loving memory of our good buddy Jaden. If many of you already, I'm certain you already seen, but yeah, he's no longer with us. Passed about what I want to say late January.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Middle. I think the 8th. Yeah, the
no,
8th,
and he
8th of
yeah,
January. Good.
and this
Close friend to both of us for sure. Roommates with Jay Sean in college, and obviously I knew him from that spot too. He was part of our design and the Say 2 shirts, all out shirts that we came up with, and just a large part of everything he did. He was creative on every front. He had multiple avenues. He had his own line. He had his photography business, and not to mention had just graduated from the USCB. So yeah, definite a big shame for sure. He was a great part of everybody's day, and just out there. I mean, it definitely was news you didn't want to hear. I mean, I played basketball with him a week prior of it happening, and then got the news. So it wasn't really something that was any of us were expecting, and in these circumstances like this, it was yeah, not this is not good news to hear. But hopefully, if anybody, everybody believes in the man up above. Jaden's that guy. He's definitely in a better place, in that place, a place we all hope we can get someday. And yeah, he's just a. It's a shame it took this long, but we finally just want to do something for him and mention him on the show because he was a big part of it and was always encouraging and always there supporting us and liking all our stuff and just reposting. So one of the big pieces to have us motivating, keep us going, and he was always big smile on everybody's day. So yeah, just a terrible loss and definitely one that has affected us all.
yeah, 100%. I mean, like I said, you mentioned, he was a roommate of mine. He actually roomed right in the room across from me at USCB my last year there. Um, we we were very cool, chopped it up. We played basketball. He was one of those guys to where if it's well for me personally, it can be a gym full of 10, 20, 50 people, but I'm looking for certain individuals, and obviously Glenn, um, my boy PJ, my boy Tony, and also Jaden. So like those guys in the gym, I mean, it made everything, you know, a a go for me. And it was likewise. I'm certain we all felt like that about each other. We ran with each other all the time in the gym. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, he was just super cool dude. Like one of the coolest guys you ever meet. Stayed in his own lane. Like how Glenn mentioned, he was working in photography. He was endlessly. I mean, when I say it would be 3, 4 o'clock at night, and I kid you not, he's still in his room with the light on, working on his clothing brand, um, working on obviously schoolwork as well. But he was grinding. Like I said, he was a very cool guy. Like he was one of those guys where if you didn't know him, you would see him on campus, and he was always just mellowed out. He'd walk around, snaps his headphones. He kept a big smile on his face for the most part whenever he was interacting with anyone. So, like I said, again, hearing the news when we did hear the news, it was kind of surreal because we didn't hear, like, it wasn't like he was sick or anything. So, well, not sick to like the common eye, what I'm basically saying. So, yeah, like I say, I mean, definitely lost a good friend. I'm a good brother of mine, and Glenn mentioned it earlier. He's in that place to where we're certain he's in that place to where we all want to get to one day. So it was his time. The man above called him, and we're gonna miss him on Earth. We're gonna miss him.
He's definitely one that we will miss for sure, and just hope that we can carry him on and just try to follow his lead and strive and just give everything you possibly can in any effort that you do. So no matter what your field is, no matter what you're passionate about, just give it your all and do whatever you can.
100%.
Successful at it. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
Don't matter
and I
what it
think
is. Just go for it.
no, I think my last thing is this is for anybody listening, anybody watching. Listen, life's too short. Recommend that if you have any, quote unquote bad fences, bad men's with anyone over anything, at the end of the day, especially family, especially close ones, loved ones, or whatever the case may be, listen, reach out, say, hey, look, we don't have to agree, but at the end of the day, I love you, and it is what it is. We're family, friends, whatever the case may be. Basically, don't go on trying to hold a grudge. I mean, at the end of the day, we never know when our time's called. And the last thing you want to do, or the last person you want to be, is that person that held a grudge against someone over something, and that was the last time you had an actual interaction with them, a personal interaction with them. So, like I say, man, life's too short. Make sure again everyone's accounted for. Make sure we're checking on our people periodically, because, like I said, again, we never know when that time is. Many of us take it for granted, but it's a blessing to wake up every morning and get to what we do what we can do, breathe this air on this earth, be able to walk around, be able to go to work, all those things that we do, definitely don't take it for granted. And like I say, just make sure that your people are taken care of.
100%. And yeah, all love from this side, for sure. All love, bro. He was at the service. One of his close friends talked about how they grew up, went to college together, and were just hanging out, play basketball, and just saying things that everybody has their duo that they have, and they just do it. So make sure you guys stay close with your friends, and like Jay said, even if you have fights, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Just get over it.
Yeah, definitely.
You got bigger stuff going on.
Hell yeah. I mean, fights gonna happen because it's all tied into emotion. So you're gonna have disagreements. Definitely don't not be honest with yourself. If your favorite color is red and somebody's trying to argue, oh, the best color in the world is blue. I mean, whatever the case may be, definitely be honest. But at the end of the day, understand that we can have healthy conversation. We can have good debate, and understand at the very end of it all, everybody got their respective opinions. But yeah, like I say, holding grudges, it's not really no one wins in a grudge match. That's just typically how it goes. No, there is no upside. There is no advantages. There is none of that. So,
100%. 100%. Well, let's do this one for Jaden. Hopefully, it's one of our best ones yet. And yeah, we got a very unusual show for y'all tonight. It's going to be a different spin. Not so much as topics necessarily or specific stuff. We are kind of just coming in with our opinions that we've been having on our own and just shoot out one specific thing and ideas that we have. So Before we dive into our big segment, back and forth idea changer tonight, quick recap. I know it's been a while. I think it's been about, I don't know, a week or 8 days since the Super Bowl 58. And the Kansas City Chiefs took down the San Francisco 49ers.
Who could have saw that coming?
Yeah, because Kyle Shanahan can't coach a pee-wee football team when it comes to the Super Bowl, and a bunch of other reasons down the sort. But, Deshaun, I'll let you go first with your take, and I will go back because I'm having a feeling I'm going to have to defend my boy Purdy, so I have to get ready for it.
Nah, it's funny because you say that Shanahan couldn't coach a Pee Wee football team. He couldn't coach Pee Wee quarterback. But I'm gonna be light on Purdy. He actually played decent. He didn't play a horrible game. But listen, I'm gonna be very honest, and this is something we're gonna do this year. We've been doing it this whole time on the show, but it was 100% rigged.
Thank you.
The narrative coming into this season was Kansas City can't do it on the road, Patrick Mahomes can't do it on the road, blah blah blah. I really do feel like they baked this whole narrative thing. Oh, they're regular season. Oh, they're so horrible. They lost opening night to the Lions, and then they lost a stinker to the Broncos the second game. They lost to
The
I think
Raiders.
Oakland, right? Just for them to get into the playoffs, beat two of them. Obviously, that was obvious. Beat Josh. I guess that's just like the punch and joke at this point. Just Patrick beating up on Josh in the playoffs. When Josh won the regular season matchup, like always, then you play a red hot Ravens team who all of a sudden now they can't play football. They forgot how to play, and then you catch a 49ers team who, honestly, I don't think the Super Bowl could have been any worse. It could have been worse. It could have been the Chiefs. It could have been the Dolphins instead of the Chiefs. But on one side of the spectrum, you got if Patrick Mahomes went, oh my God, he's already better than Tom Brady. People are literally saying he's better than Tom Brady, which is crazy. But then you got on the opposite side,
Tell
oh
them
my
to shut
God,
the
if
fuck up.
right, if Brock Purdy would have win, he's the next Tom Brady. So it was just a whole bunch of disrespect flying around. There was if you're a guy like me, there was no win-win, or there's no win scenario for you. But the game itself was pretty obvious. The Niners looked good in the first half. They looked like they were going to run away with it. Then a couple of miscues every here and there. You get a muffed punt. Chiefs score. You get overtime. 49ers get the ball first. They elect to be safe and not go for it on fourth. They end up trying to take the points. And Patrick Mahomes said, thank you. We will take your points. And we will add 6 on top of those to end the first quarter in the new overtime rules, right before, obviously, a time expired. So, my takeaway is my final point. If anybody thought a Super Bowl that consisted of Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Taylor Swift, and now Ice Spice, we're going to lose to the Brock Purdy not led, but the Brock Purdy quarterback team that come out with the boom box, listening to music. No, they're not doing that. Yeah, Taylor Swift made the NFL over $300 million this season. They weren't letting that girl. They wouldn't let all the new Swifties who just started watching football lose the Super Bowl. That's not what the NBA, what the NFL is here for. They're here to make money. So it's all rigged. Yep.
That's all they really care about at the end of the day. They truly don't care about football anymore. All Roger Goodell, the scumbag, cares about is making money, and yeah, that's all it was. Now, I'm not taking it. The only player I don't want to take anything away from necessarily is Patrick Mahomes, because I was saying the whole time they better not rig it in the referee department, and I'm going to be honest, the refereeing was actually pretty fair, in my opinion. I thought it was even all around. But a couple of the
Well,
plays I thought were kind of bullshit. Like the last play in overtime, the Niners' last play offensively, when the O lineman went like this to Chris Jones and just completely turned away from him. You know that's Chris Jones coming at your quarterback, right? There's nobody over here. Chris Jones is here, so you're supposed to block that guy and give your quarterback another second. He throws a touchdown. On a side note about the Purdy, though, I thought he played very, very, well. He didn't. I thought, for me, I just thought Shanahan, the whole loss was on Shanahan. The decision to get the ball first was on Shanahan. The decision not to call the timeout at the end of the first half and just concede the last 45 seconds, I thought that was on Shanahan. And the play calling, he didn't use McCaffrey at all the first two drives to start the second half. He threw 6 straight times, and there were 3 and out. I love Brock Purdy, but you got to use Chris McCaffrey if you want to win the game, flat out. So that was terrible mistakes there. And the defense, in my opinion, now they held them in the whole game, and the loss of Greenlaw was obviously brutal. But and I don't want to blame the defense for the whole loss, but they had 3 chances at the end of the game to get one stop, and they would have won the Super Bowl. When it was 16-13, they couldn't get a stop. When it was 19-16, they couldn't get a stop. When it was 22-19, they couldn't get a stop. So they make one stop there, and they are Super Bowl champions. But that's besides the point. They weren't. The Chiefs weren't losing that game under any circumstance whatsoever. Truthfully, I don't even know why I was cheering. It goes back to even the Ravens game when the number one rushing offense runs for 8 times the whole game, against one of the worst rushing defenses in Kansas City. So we'll see what happens next year. I'm probably just going to watch the Eagles. That's it. And I hope that the script says we're going to win it. But I doubt that. I will just be watching the Eagles. My time watching the NFL will be cut back. I'll blimp in and out of the Chargers maybe a little bit just to see how you guys are doing. And
I like that. That was smooth.
thank you. And that's the wrap for this year's football season. The second one in our books. And
So
to more mystery.
yep, definitely. But I will say, you said that the officiating was fine. It was, even though and actually, I honestly, even though what I'm about to say, yeah, I believe it was okay. It wasn't bad. I'm not going to ever blame the game on the refs, really. But the Chiefs haven't had a holding call on them in the past 3 Super Bowls, so it's hard for me to believe that they've been flawless on that account. And I'm glad you mentioned the defense. See, I actually kind of forgot about the defense because I'm just so fixated on the game was fixed. But I will say this though, for all you people out there in the world who believe the game wasn't fixed, can someone explain to me how that last drive of the game, what Patrick Mahomes and them started on like the 5 to 10, they were somewhere. They weren't even at the 20. And they absolutely walked the 49ers defense down the field. They held their hand like it's their first time at the amusement park and just walked them into the amusement park. Walked them around, showed them the site. Everything was good. We're gonna ride that ride later. We're gonna get the Coney dog from that spot. That guy right there is drunk. We're not gonna follow him up. And they just cruised and had a good old time.
The corny dog. I want to get a corny dog.
I don't even know what that is.
Is it similar to a corn dog?
I thought it was. I thought it was something like somebody say like somewhere else, like in New York or something. A corny dog. I don't know. I just said it.
Are you saying corny or corny dog?
Corny dog. Corny. I don't know what a corny dog is. Maybe I'll Google it. But yeah, that's literally what they did. I watch a lot of First Things First, and Chris Broussard does this thing to where like if a team basically gets beat on the road, they came into your house, put their feet on your table, went in your fridge, and ate a sandwich. And so that's literally what Patrick Mahomes did to the 49ers, which is also fitting, and it's my last point about it for real, and I'm done. It's also fitting that they won it in that stadium because that's the Raiders' home stadium. And we all know that they own the Raiders. So
at this point, everybody owns the Raiders.
Yeah, but I too back Glenn's watching point on NFL next season. I'm only watching the Chargers. I will watch a bit of wherever. Well, obviously the Bucks if Baker's still there, but definitely gonna watch some Bucks because I want to see Baker. I'm going to tune into his Eagles just so I can see if they're still doing that tush push. And I think I'm
brotherly shove,
tush push, quarterbacking up in injury reports. Who knows? So
catastrophe.
And I tune in. I'm be very selective when I tune in. I won't be just blindly watching. Like I might see what Will Levis got going on. I want to see if Bo Nix get a chance to start wherever he's at. I want to see what Atlanta does. I want to see their quarterback situation. But I'm the overall watching. I'm cutting back on watching like 75%. Like I'm being very selective with whatever I watch. So so yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
Speaking of,
We can always just check
oh,
the score.
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, we can just check the
Always
score. And
check
we
it
can
all.
just yeah, we can just box score warrior it up. But
You know the amount of time we're about to save this year. Do you know the
literally,
amount of time we're gonna have? Crazy.
listen, that's
Could
that.
shoot more episodes.
Right. If I cut back two other things in my life, I have all the time in the world. But we'd say that for another conversation. But speaking of cutting back on, and I'm only jumping here because this is a great transition. How about the sport that starts during like middle of football season that really and truly after the Super Bowl they have this event that's called All Star Weekend that
I'll start.
if it's used correctly, it's supposed to be the welcome NFL fans who watch all the NFL. It's now NBA's time to shine.
Mm,
We're going to kick it off right with a good old fashioned All Star Weekend. That sport,
yeah.
100% did not deliver on this main
Again.
dish. Yeah, horrible. So obviously, again, we're talking about the NBA. We're talking about NBA. It's been NBA season, but quote unquote is officially now since the NFL is now over with.
Mm,
However, they are currently facing a whole lot of backlash from the local watcher, the regular watchers, people at games, the All Star eventing that is. Just a lackluster performance of All Star performances, I must say. So, Glenn, I'll let you take it away here. All Star Weekend, NBA All Star Weekend, that is for you. What was it?
boring. It's the same old, same old. There's no. I used to watch it a little bit, and I remember the one year. I think it was 20. It was 2020, the start of 2020. So right before the whole thing hit, but it was still. It was in February, and it hit in March. So February was the first year. It was the year Kobe died, and they changed the fourth quarter rules where they turn off the clock and it's first to a score, and it was really like they were trying. Embiid was shaken down. I think it was Paul George or something, or like they were trying. It looked intense. Anthony Davis is getting fouled, and he's hitting clutch free throws. It was elite basketball with elite basketball players, but now it's just back Dame shoots from half court, and then Bam comes down and he shoots from half court, and then nobody's guarding Jokic in the post, so he's standing there going, Phew, and then Doncic is throwing it off the glass because there's nobody 35 feet from him, and it's literally just guys getting blown up somewhere. I don't even know how people pay to watch it. It's just got to be frustrating as hell to see the most talented NBA players in the world just lollygagging around. Now everybody's saying, "Oh, you're gonna get hurt. You don't want to get hurt." There's definitely a middle ground in between NBA Finals Game 7 and playing with your 5-year-old little cousin and trying to help them win. Got to be some middle ground in between there that can be entertaining for the fans. Not to mention the festivities beforehand. The dunk contest, won by Mac McClung again, making us white guys look good. So that was fun. But he's in a G League jersey. He plays for the Magic's G League team. He didn't even wear a Magic jersey. They're pulling up guys from G League just to make it this admirable because he's the only one that can dunk. And you can notice, if you watch any of it, they definitely told the judges, hey, yo, cut back the 50s all around. They don't want to see that. Because that one he did, where he threw it up to himself and then dunked it, that was a definite 50. And they gave him like a 48. So that wasn't that fun. And then Jaylen Brown forgot to close his eyes before the dunk. He dunked and then went this, but it was supposed to be beforehand, so it's like the no-look dunk. And then he dunked left-handed. It was just a whole thing. The only entertaining thing kind of was the Steph versus Sabrina. That girl could shoot. I'm not gonna lie. She can shoot. That girl's got some shot to her. She's almost as good as the Caitlin Clark, who is now the all-time leader in women's
Shouts out to Caitlin
NCAA.
Clark.
She is. Can we say bucket? If I've ever seen one in my life, holy shit! Pulls off from 40 like it's nothing. It
Yeah,
is
she's a bucket.
insane. Honestly, when she goes pro, I don't know when she's going pro, but I will genuinely follow whatever team she's on for the WNBA. I
Mm.
will will definitely spike when she gets in there because she's entertaining as hell to watch.
She's definitely good for women's basketball. I will say that.
Definitely for sure. So she's fun, and that girl Sabrina can shoot too. But obviously Steph still won because I mean he's the best 3-point shooter of all time, so he's gonna win almost every 3-point contest. But
Mm.
yeah, the whole thing's just boring as hell. And the All Star game was pointless. They scored 211 points. Woohoo! No defense. It's like counting how many warm up shots you make, and you're getting to 211. So pointless as well. And but yeah, I think that sums up the weekend. I know we have alternatives now and plans to fix it. And now that I kicked off how the weekend went, would you like to go first and saying how you would fix it and also give your take on what you thought of the weekend itself?
Oh man, hell yeah, I'd do that. So first and foremost, right? Let's start with the elephant in the top, and let's work our way down. At this juncture of All Star Weekend. Now, first, I'm going to say what's wrong with all these things, and then I'm going to go back and say what we need to do to fix it. But let's start with the top. The All Star game, horrible. Um, no, there's absolutely no purpose in playing that. That is a glorified warm up. And for all those guys out there who say stuff like injuries, 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 well, yeah, you guys practice harder than that. So it can't be. It can't just. It just isn't BK have it your way. Number two, the dunk contest. Get rid of it. At this point in time, there isn't but so many dunks you can now see that you've never seen before. People jumped over Kia's. Pia jumped over Taco Fall. I watched Taco Bell. People jumped over Taco Fall. People jumped over Shaq. Jalen Brown got ultimately disrespectful and jumped over Kai Sinet. Like, cuz it's like 5 foot even.
And he was sitting
Um,
down.
and he was sitting down as well. Like, they're getting very disrespectful with it. People done dunked in Tim's. Like, it's no purpose. Get rid of it. We can put something else in the slot. Going down to the next layer, the 3-point competition will always be a stay because that's one thing that requires actual skill. Like, you can't go out there and lollygag and make, 30 shots. Like, you gotta shoot the ball. You gotta shoot it and make it. So that's always going to require skill. Keep that because that drives competition up. It drives ratings. People want to see who's winning and who's losing. Um, Skills competition. Only put guys in that's actually going to compete. You got people like young guys like Anthony Edwards who shooting left-handed side of the backboard, not really competing in it. Um, I think the skill competition can be revamped in a way to where it'll be more profitable. Because I think when you're talking about skill competition for professionals showcasing their skills, I think there's a market there. So I would keep that. The what's next, and probably the most outside of the 3-point shooting competition right now, the second best thing arguably is the celebrity game. Celebrity game was great. I would continuously keep getting high profile celebrities to participate. You had people like Michael Parsons in it. Puka Nakua was dunking on individuals. Like he got a couple drops of melanin like me. Um, so I mean, that right there was
Couple?
hey, right. So yeah. So people ask questions like how do you fix the all-star game? So with the All-Star game itself, my proposal is, and I kid you not, it's going to sound very childish, but it's actually very good because at the end of the day, people seem to forget it's not about the players. Like this All-Star weekend is not about the players. The NBA is the entertainment business. They're trying to get eyeballs. They want to do what can we do to get the most eyeball. And in conclusion to that, what they can do is they can put out the competitive product. Look at All Star games in the past. Look at the early 2000s, where you got Kobe, you got Stephon Marbury's, you got the Michaels, you got Tim Duncan to Kevin Garnett's. Those games, I was watching some of those games earlier today while I was at work. Those games were actual competitive. Like they were competing. Kobe wanted to compete because back then it was bragging rights in it. Like you felt good saying, "Yeah, I dominated an All Star game." You know, given the fact that the league and the world itself got softer, now it's stuff about, oh well, we can get hurt, or let's just turn this to a glorified scrimmage. If I'm anybody that purchased tickets, I want my money back. But how do we do it? My proposal is you set up a 10, 12 team, 3-man. I'm sorry, yeah, 10 to 12 team, 3-man team, right? Set them up with three. You have, I would personally have, if it's 10 teams, you have 10 captains or 12 teams, 12 captains, or however you do the captain thing. NBA, y'all got smart people who get paid for this stuff. I'm not getting paid for it. So y'all have fun with the breakdown. However, you set it up in bracket form. Six teams in one bracket, 6 teams the other, or 5 and 5, however. You play games of 3v3v3. Here's how you do it. You got a basketball court. Everybody know what a basketball court is like, right? Basketball court. You know the two
Seen it one
goals?
or two times.
Right. You know the two goals, right? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have two teams stand under a. We're going to have one team under a goal, each and under each goal. So one team under one goal, a team under the other goal, and the other team, the third team, is going to be in the middle of half court. So they got to have court off probably because they wanted some type of tip. They rock paper scissors for it. However, that's the team in the middle. They got the ball first. When we count down to the count of three, they're going to pick what side they're going to first. So once 1, 2, 3, they start dribbling to one side. They start dribbling to one side. Now that opposite team, that team who's under the rim on that side of the dribbling to, is on defense first, and now it's a 3v3. So you got 3v3, and if the team with the ball scores, they got like a 12-second shot clock or whatever. The team with the ball scores, that means that they scored. They now go down to play the other team. They got a point. If the team on defense stops the offense, that now means that they get the ball and they go down to play the other team up under the other. You do that back and forth to first team to get the 5. That's the winner of that. That's the winner of that round. So explain it again. Got 3 teams on the court. One team under one rim, one team in the middle, other team under rim. Other the under rim. Under the other rim. Goddamn, English is horrible.
That
You
is
would think it's my
that's a tongue twister.
right. You would think it's my first language, but it's obviously not.
Under the
Um,
under rim.
right. Yeah, exactly like a jackass. So yeah, you got 3 teams on the court, and you got that team in the middle. Once we blow the whistle, you count it through, whatever. That team got to dribble to one side of the court, and they got to get a bucket. If they don't get the bucket, that means that the opposite team gets the ball. Now they got to go down and get a bucket. And you do this bucket getting challenge so the first team get 5. Everything counts as I would personally do everything counts as all ones. Even if you hit threes, like a layup, whatever, it's all ones just to make it more competitive. But, again, the NBA, y'all have fun with that. So by doing this game, number one, what it does is you got smaller teams. So it's easier to pinpoint who's not buying in and who isn't. You also, given the fact you got smaller teams, you got more eyeballs involved. So say you got a team LeBron got LeBron, Kyrie, and let's just say AD. It's like, okay, there's a little bit of chemistry here. Let's say team KD got KD, James Harden, and let's just say I'm just throwing in a guy out there who, let's say they got Karl Anthony Towns. Like, okay, this 3 right here is looking pretty good. So you got a 3 with Steph, Paul George, and let's just say Bam Adebayo. So now you getting these 3-man teams involved where the captains got to be strategic of who they picking. And I feel like you can break that down by having whoever with the top 12 like candidates to like who got the most votes, top 12, they team captains. So like I said, by doing it this way, you get more buy-in. People want to win because they don't want to lose. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to just sit here and just let a guy get a layup on you, or you don't want to let a guy shoot or just dunk on you. You want to actually win. So, and it also, given it's 3v3, you put in these individual skills on display versus in a 5v5, how it's currently constructed, people just coming down, shooting half court shots, throwing lobs off the backboard. You had a possession where Luka and Jokic is coming down the court, just throwing the ball to each other, walking down the court with the ball, and then Luka threw it back to Jokic as an alley, but Jokic wasn't going to get that. He just tipped it back to somebody and laid it up. So, in all, I think by doing it that way, you increase the competitiveness, which in turn is going to increase the buy-in for the consumers to want to watch. They want to see competitive play. People watch NBA basketball games because they want to see the competitiveness. They want to see these guys compete. They want to see greatness. They want to see Steph drop 30, make some crazy ass three. They want to see LeBron do his little, his special chase down block, assist of the year, whatever. Like they want to see this stuff, and it's the All Stars, so it's all stars. So right, like exactly, like it's the All Stars, so they want to see all the stars. So, and I would,
That
yeah,
that was a it's all stars, so they want to see all the stars.
right, exactly. Like
Whew,
you would think
that's a
that's a no
stretch.
brainer, but but it is what it is. And I would throw in a cash bonus at the end, like the winning team. Each player get 100,000 apiece,
Maybe a
whatever.
nice Rolex.
Right, so they get something cool. But that's how
I rock with your
it,
idea though. And what they could do is you said 12 teams, right?
right. Let's say 12, 10, however many they want.
12 would be great because you got 12 the 3v3s like you said, and then if you do that matchup 4 times, there's going to be one winner of each. So they go
Right.
head to head, the other two go head to head 3-3, 3-on-3. They go head to head, and then they
Hmm.
play in a 3v3 championship head to head.
Right.
It's going to be
Exactly.
more
Like I
tournament
said,
style, so guys will try more.
it's more tournament style. March Madness is right around the corner, so it's getting people prepared for the bracket life. It's just it's a smarter way to increase having all stars at an event rather than just having them out there at glorified practice. And like I said again, nobody's going to want to lose that 3v3. You got team, like I said, you got Team Steph, Team LeBron, Team KD, Team Kawhi, Team Giannis, like Team Shea Gilders, like this is going to be an event in my eyes that many people are going to stay. I want to see this. So like I said, I think that's my push, and I got the idea from 2K. That's why I said it might be childish, but it's
Well, it's better than
again
whatever they got now. So
right. But it's absolutely it's better than what they currently have because they currently have right now a situation where the consumers themselves are starting to get tired of seeing it. They don't want to sit here and see this. They don't want to see these guys have glorified layup lines. They don't want to see, even though the half court shots are cool, but you don't want to just see that. I think Luca took like a 75-footer shot, and then
yeah,
he
it took
said it was a 2 for 1, or and then you got like I say, it's just what the game was back when Kobe, back when Mike, back when KGs of the world, Tim Duncans of the world, the Stephon Marbury's of the world, back when they were having it, and these All Star games meant
AI.
something. AIs of the world, right?
Yeah.
These games meant something.
Even
You say
Co-
now these guys,
even Kobe said like these guys want to compete.
yeah,
When they went out there, they wanted to compete.
right,
It's the same as the reason they got there is because they were the most competitive, most into it, most intense guys. Why stop when you get to the All Star game?
right.
Why?
You're
Why are
repping
you
because it's
stopping?
like, but it's also like for me, it's a bigger issue because you're representing your franchise, you're representing your team, you're representing your city. If I'm playing in Toronto, if I'm Scotty Barnes, I'm coming from Toronto. I want to put on for Toronto. I want to put on for my Raptors. I want to put on for the city. I want to put on for Canada. I don't want to come here to just chew the fat with y'all. Now, granted, I'm not out here trying to injure nobody. Again, this isn't Game 7 of the finals. However, we're going to make this a competitive game. We're not going to sit here and go all the way out. We're not going to sit here and try to injure anybody, try to hurt anybody, so they won't go back to their respective franchises. But we're going to make this thing competitive to where the consumer can enjoy it. So we're all stars. We're professionals. We're not amateurs. We are professional athletes. Let's put that on display. Because what we did just what they did in the All Star game, which was last night, anybody can do. You get 10 people on the basketball court, we all can. Now, granted, you might got to have people telling them they can actually dunk on a consistent basis, but for the most part, you can get nothing nothing about that game. A college team, two college teams couldn't do last night. Nothing about it. Nothing about it. You could have pulled the G Leaguers up. I would have rather seen the G League All Star game than that last night. And everybody was saying that they're right. They're right. The celebrity game was more competitive than the NBA All Star game. So we say we got a problem on our hands, and the NBA got to look at it and say, you know what? Are we just going to keep on being lazy and not change the format, or are we going to say, you know what, this style is not working, and I would change the format? Now, in regards to the, like I say, in regards to the dunk competition, it automatically has to go. Like I say, it's abysmal.
Just
It's
get rid of
but
it. It's done. There's no point having
right.
it
It's
anymore.
it's so many. It's but so many dunks you can see now. There isn't a dunk somebody's going to be able to do. It's going to blow our socks off. It's just
Even
it's not
just take like a 5 year hiatus and let everybody forget about the. It's not even like it's the NBA's fault.
right.
Like it's not even
Right.
like these. Like Stephen A. had a good point that like LeBron ruined the dunk contest by not participating because the elites used to participate, and once LeBron didn't, then the rest of the league thought they didn't. He couldn't either. So the one thing about the dunk contest is at least it used to have superstars in it. Okay, this is Kobe dunking. This is Vince Carter dunking. This is Michael Jordan. They, at least they had stars dunking. But like, what do you want? They had Zach. What was his name? Zach Quez Valdez
Uh.
from
Yeah. Dude
Miami.
from Miami. Yeah.
Went to UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
Great baller. But he's an all star. Okay,
Jaquez, if I'm not mistaken.
Mac McClung, who is he's not in the NBA, was in it. Obi Toppin from the Knicks, and Jalen Brown was just there because they needed a name, and he was the
Actually,
worst one of
no, it
all.
wasn't even Obi Toppin. That was his brother. Obi Toppin plays for the Pacers now. That
Oh,
was
who
his
was it?
brother.
Yeah,
That's his brother.
that shows you.
Exactly. That shows you
That
exactly
shows
like
you who's
who's
in
in
it.
it.
I couldn't name all for them. They're just grabbing random people to do the same dunks they did last year and the year before that. So they really are out of dunks. There's
Yeah,
only so many dunks you can do. We're human beings. Unless you're gonna just start doing cartwheels in the air and a 360, 720s, 1080s.
right.
Unless you're doing 1080s up to dunk, then you really got nothing. Or if you're dunking from the 3 point line, then like we're human beings. We're not gonna be able. We've hit our max with the dunk contest. So
But see,
take a 5 year break. Let us forget what the dunks were and start over.
I will say I 100% agree with that. I think 5 years minimum should be the break. Only way that gets trumped, in my estimation, is if you get buy-in from the likes of John Morant, Zion Williamson. Who else is jumping out the gym? Uh, I would say Anthony Edwards. I think he would be. I think he would be a sleeper in that. But I think him. And you probably bring out. I would bring out Aaron Gordon again
Oh
if he
my
still
god.
has the bounce. So you get again. You get two
That
those
was
two
the greatest
young.
dunk contest of all time. People say Jordan Wilkins, but it's not even close. It's Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine in 2016.
Right. Give me like I said.
Greatest dunk contest I've ever watched.
Bring out the guys who we think can fly. Like again, bring out the. I mean, and even Obi, you mentioned Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin's a good in-game dunker, but like the guys who just got explosiveness out of this world, unless you're getting
Ja.
buy-in from those type of guys, yeah, you're getting buy-ins from the Jaws, you're getting buy-ins from the Zions. Unless you're getting that type of buy-in, then we don't need to have it. Again, this is the NBA. This is the premium. This is the premium level of basketball. If we're not having, if we can't, we will, we will begin. We won't be here whenever it happens, but it will end up happening. The NBA is going to lose their rights to the premium portion if they just keep putting lackluster on these All Star events.
We won't be here. Holy shit!
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The NBA is set for 50 plus years at this point. They're not going
Even
anywhere.
50 years, you got us going in our 70s. Holy
No,
shit!
I'm just saying in general, like they're 50 years
Oh,
easy, like they're 50 years easily still going to
golly.
be doing what they do. So I'm saying
Only
like
thing I
that's
can think is if I go that soon is I just have to deal with your takes for 50, your terrible takes for 50 years and
hey,
hating all my
but see,
QBs. Maybe by then I'm just like,
well, Jalen's always hurts. So I mean, it is what it is.
Jalen is always hurts. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, but like I say, yeah, nah, that definitely got to go. The 3 point competition, I wouldn't touch it. I don't understand how guys like Norman Powell didn't make it, but that's for another day. But yeah, I would keep that, and I would do more to elevate that celebrity game. I think I'll do more to
Maybe
the.
invite creators and podcasters.
Yeah, I mean, I would because I think there is a platform now that does that. Like it's like the the platform version because I seen they had like it was Creators League. That's what it was, Creators League. Oh, they don't want us in it. We definitely win. Yeah, they don't want us in it.
Bro, I just want to get big enough just to be in that and smoke all them dudes on a federal level.
Yeah. Those and they look very horrible when they play. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a creative now.
We're
It's
going up
a
against KSI and Aiden. Bro, what the
right.
fuck?
Yeah. They wouldn't be able to keep up
You
with them
can't make a
miles.
layup. What the hell do you
Right.
mean
But
you
I
won
know
this?
there is this one creator out there. Like he was actually trying to go pro in I think Toronto. He's actually like he's light skinned kid, got a bunch of hair. He's actually very good. I don't know his name. But yeah, but like I said, I mean, in the day, nah, this dunk contest got to go. The 3-point competition can stay. The celebrity basketball game, in my eyes, need to be elevated. I would elevate that up. But like I said, I like how they did the format. Not Skip, Shannon and Stephen A. as the coaches. So again, you get buy-in from football players, you get buy-in from actors and singers and stuff like that. So I think that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all in all, the horrible, a very underperforming weekend to say the least. 211
For
points,
sure.
and then I also feel like the MVP should kind of be a disgrace in that game. Like you shouldn't be proud to win the MVP of that
Woo!
because 10, 20 years from now, when we're talking about the MVPs for the All Star game, oh yeah, Damian Lillard won the MVP for the All Star game, and he won the 3-point shootout. Well, that 3-point shootout's valid, but the All Star game it's watered down. Like you don't like the value of winning what was there last night isn't high. And I would even say before my favorite player Russ I think when he won his, it wasn't a bunch of defense being played in the one he won his. So the value in the award isn't high. It's not to the same value of the 2000s NBA All Star MVP. That was real value because they were actually playing ball. Like I said, here is just literally we're going to jog up the court, throw up something crazy. We're going to jog back down, not play defense. We're going to jog back on the court, and we're going to shoot. Oh my God, we missed it. It was a horrible shot anyway. We're going to jog back down the court, watch that guy take a crazy three or either dunk.
It's bad
Oh,
when you look at the screen and go, "Holy shit, I could play this game."
yeah, exactly. Again, these are professionals, professional athletes.
Well, I have a way that I think would also change the game and make it more entertaining, but it's an incredibly hot take in my opinion. Well, at least I think it is. A lot of people think it's a hot take. For me, I have always been a believer in making the All-Star game mean something for the regular season. They tried it with the in-season tournament. That was a really fun one.
Yeah, that was a disaster as well. I don't know what them idiots were
But
thinking.
yeah, they're gonna give a shit about it, and they really imagine if Kobe was on the Lakers and they tried to hang an in-season tournament banner. Motherfucker would have burned it that night. He would have not played the game. He would have not showed up for the tournament. But anyway, my idea for the improvement of the All-Star game: give me the East All-Stars, give me the West All-Stars, give me a 48-minute basketball game like every other game, and the winner of that game, that conference gets home field or home court advantage for the NBA Finals. Now, hear me out. People are going to say, what? Why? Who's going to try that hard when you're racing for for a playoff spot? Why would you want to do it? What is the difference between playing hard in the All-Star game, which has meaning if you make the playoffs and end up making the finals? Look at the ace seed Heat. They made it the finals last year. They could have had home court. You have meaning for that. What's the difference between getting hurt in that game and the first game back from the All-Star break when you're playing the 3-97 Detroit Pistons? What's the difference if you get hurt in either of those games? Because you're trying in the Pistons game because it's for the regular season. What's the difference if you get hurt in that game? That's point A. B, how much do people really... I like to study how often these guys get hurt. It's at their own discretion. You get hurt on, jumping off a ball, you land on your ankle bad. They're freak occurrences. So if the game has meaning, it's the same as a freak occurrence as getting hurt in game 62 of the season when you're playing for the playoff spot. It's the same. It happens in the game of basketball. You can't control, as long as you make the game have meaning. So say you play great and you're a all-star on a team and you get hurt and you're out for 3 weeks, and then you get back and you help your team make the playoffs. You played well. If you make it to the NBA Finals, you got your team. The game had meaning. You played well. You were a key component to win the game. Now, if you guys get through and you're the 6th seed and you get through the Eastern Conference and you go to the Finals, you got home court. No matter if you're playing the 1 seed or the 5th seed. No matter who you're playing, you got home court. It's a huge advantage. So what is the difference between playing in an All-Star game that could, if you're a playoff team, playing the All-Star game to have home court, or you're playing the 3-612, whatever the record is, Detroit Pistons? I don't know what the difference is. Getting hurt is part of sports. You get hurt sometimes, but it's not like football or hockey where the game is hitting. Like football, it makes sense that they're not playing pro ball because the game is literally every single day, every single play, contact, hitting. The goal is to hit. Same with hockey. It's skill, yes, but there's a lot more.
It's a physical game.
It's more physical. That's why baseball and basketball, I don't know why you don't just make it for home court or home field advantage. It solves every problem. Everybody would love the game. Everybody would watch it. If it had meaning and these guys tried, everybody would watch it. And if you're so scared of getting hurt, you declined to go to the All-Star game.
Well, when you say that, because I've heard this argument all day, and I actually don't have a problem with it. But let me try to rebuttal here a little. So, what does, if that was the rules for this year, right? Since the East won, what does a guy like Paolo Banchero get? Because he's not in contention. His team isn't in contention for the playoffs.
I mean, the Magic are, but another guy that the Magic are in contention for the playoffs. Paolo Banchero.
What's smarter than?
I think they're the 6th seed. I know they're in a spot because I was looking at the stands the other day. I was like, "Holy shit, the Magic are actually playing well this year."
I don't know where my phone is. Okay, so that's fine. Let's use Trae Young. Trae Young, for example.
Trae Young, Atlanta's out.
Right.
He doesn't have this year. He doesn't have an incentive, but next year, if the Hawks are good, he has an incentive. What is the incentive either way?
I'm saying he's playing this year. So what's going to stop him from just essentially trying to sell the game? Well, not necessarily sell it on purpose, but what's going to stop him from being out there on the court like, oh well, this isn't really this award isn't really for me, so I'm gonna just get out here and do my thing.
So you're saying like if LaMelo Ball was healthy and he plays for the Hornets, who suck, or Cade Cunningham, who plays for the Pistons, who suck, and they're on the court, what is their advantage to the game? They don't really have one. Maybe they're just there. They sit on the bench. They decline. Maybe they feel like, hey, I'm actually playing somewhat of a meaningful game this year because the rest of my season's trash and meaningless. So, or they just tell the coach flat out, I don't have a purpose in this game. I don't have a purpose for the final result. Play me only when needed. You could take it all by year, but if the guys that are in playoff contention, they'll want to play. It'll have meaning to them, and it's the same. Like it should just be a competitive angle in you. Like you shouldn't want to play. It should just be competitive. So like next year, look at it this way. Like if you're an elite player, like if you're a very good player like Cade Cunningham, and the Pistons obviously don't have a chance this year, probably not for the next 15, but they don't have a chance this year. Say the Hawks did, and Trae Young and they're both there. And next year it's flipped. The Hawks don't have a chance and the Pistons do. They both try as Eastern Conference pride. East, I want the East to do good. It looks better if I was in the more powerful East. The East was winning. It looks better on me. I played in the Eastern Conference. That was a tough conference when I was in my prime. It looks better. It just flips. And the Hawks don't have any chance, but Trae Young wants to win to make the East look better. And the East dominated, and same goes for the West. If a player's not going to make the playoffs, first thing first, I don't even know how the Pistons are still in the league. This is like a side angle, but Jesus, I don't know how. What are they at? 5 wins this year? Let me look at the record. 8 and 46. Yeah. The Wizards 9 and 45. I guess Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma wasn't a great duo, I guess, but who could have saw that? But yeah. So
apparently nobody.
Yeah, not Washington. But yeah, I mean, flat out, I think it was I think it would just add so much more excitement. And all the years that the MLB had it, it had a purpose and it had meaning. And again, like the flag football is not in the Pro Bowl. It makes sense. You want the guys on the truth. It was kind of entertaining watching the Pro Bowl because I mean, at least they were trying. There was no issue of getting hurt. They were just professional guys. They were still elite players. The defense really didn't have much of a purpose. So it's kind of the defense doesn't really get a chance to do anything, but the offense still was there, and that's really what they care about. This gets where skill position is. That's where most people care about this day and age, unfortunately. And the NHL is the same thing. It's dog water. It's terrible to watch, but at least they get hurt. They have a much higher chance of getting hurt. But I think they should do the same thing too, East-West, and compete for the home field. But it's going to be a harder shot to do that in the NHL because there's more possibility of getting hurt. But the NBA, no excuse. MLB,
Well, what I would say to help your argument is, so for the teams, okay, for the conference that wins, right? Say the Eastern wins, and they win home court. Not only if they win home court, if an Eastern Conference team wins the finals, then whomever played on that Eastern Conference team in the All Star game gets like $150,000-$200,000 bonus on top of it. So they're not just saying, "Oh well, I'm just playing just to help out a team like Milwaukee or whomever." Now
yes,
I'm doing it.
I
Now
like that.
I got stake in y'all winning, so y'all got to win.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I
and
like that a lot.
now, right, and the only reason why I brought up the money situation here because this next scenario I'm about to play out is the exact opposite to where I wouldn't give out any money. So apparently, guys were. I've also heard today, listening to sports shows, that guys want the NBA to essentially pay more out of the All Star break. They want to be able to make more money during the All Star game. And I'm sitting here now, I'm thinking, well, these millionaire athletes, and I'm not counting their pockets. I really have no desire or care in the world. However, it does get to a point to where when does it stop? Like, at what point are you doing what you do because you love what you do and you busted your tail to get to where you are? Like, at what point is that going to supersede money? Because most of you guys, again, making upward $20 million outside the guys on rookie deals, probably. But I don't even know what the rookie numbers look like. But I'm saying it from a standpoint of like, I'm not, if I'm the, like the top guy in basketball, I'm not accommodating that wish of trying to pay you guys more money. Like, that's just not how I would do business. It makes no purpose to me to do business that way.
You're not
Especially
doing
when
any
it's
work for it.
you're doing what you're supposed to do, and I gotta pay you extra for doing what you're supposed to do. I think that just speaks to how this society is. So so yeah, that's I mean, but like I said, to help your argument, I would do it that way. I would do, the players on that team. If the East wins the finals and they won the All Star game to get the home court, yeah, I would throw out a financial compensation for everyone who participated in getting those guys that Eastern
Yeah.
Conference spot locked up. Well, that Eastern Conference home playoffs locked up.
If they care about money, an extra 100, 200 grand, yeah, that'll give them some incentive to play.
Hey, that's 200 grand. So yeah, like I
I
said,
like
that's what
that
I would
idea a
do.
lot. Well, whatever they decide, they have to fix whatever they're doing. Otherwise, the ratings are continue to just go down the toilet.
Yeah,
So hopefully they listen to our decision. I don't really like any of the commissioners, honestly. There's not a commissioner in the entire major four sports that I like. I don't like Bettman. I don't like Manfred, and I don't like Silver or what's his name, Goodell. I like David Stern. I
yeah,
like
yeah. Stern was tough though. Stern holding people accountable,
Stern.
but
You don't.
yeah, like I said, now it's like we live in an era to where these commissioners, for the most part, got to essentially kiss the bottoms of these players. So,
Did you
you're
just
looking
censor
at,
yourself from saying ass?
yeah, I did, right? I don't know why I did that. But
You said worse.
I know, right? But yeah, like I say, I mean they it's now a way we want to make as much money as possible rather than do the right thing type of deal. So having a competitive, All-Star game isn't really as important as long as the NBA is getting their money off of it. They don't really care about the production of it because if they did, we wouldn't be having situations like that, like how we had last night at the All-Star game.
Did you just cut out? Yeah.
No, that was it. That was just that was
Yeah, no, we wouldn't have that. Yeah, we wouldn't have a dreadful performance that nobody wants to watch, which was again last night's game. So was it last night or yeah, it was last night.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and that we should change it. And hopefully they listen to us, and they should stop caring about money. And I'm not one of those people that say, "Oh no, money that's the root of all evil," and you can't fit the camel, and like, you can't take it with you. No, fuck that. You make as much bread as you want. Money is great. Gets you a lot of it, as long as you do it for good for the most part, and you earn it right. Yeah, by all means, money is the way to go. Get as much as you can. That's the point. Gives you a lot of time and a lot of luxuries. It lets you take care of people. So love money.
Hell yeah.
But to some point, it's like, bro, did you make it to the NBA because you love basketball, or you just wanted to make a ton of money? If
Right.
that's the case, can we just buy out your contract and you go retire and get guys that actually want to just play basketball?
At the end of the day, the NBA is their business that wants to make as much money as possible. They get as much money as possible by having guys who are brought into playing basketball and increasing their personal brands while also maintaining and establishing the brand of the NBA and keeping that up to a certain image. So
Mm-hmm.
those are the guys that strap to get here. Those are the guys that, in our opinion, are good for the game because they're going to give it their all. You look at guys like Russell Westbrook, for example. Nobody can ever say he cheats them. He cheats anyone on effort. And guys like me can respect that because at the end of the day, the game of basketball was founded off effort. Team got to get ball in the basket more times than opposite team, and there's so many ways to do that. Like I say, on the court. But again, it's an all-star game. You want to see your stars. You want to see the stars. You want to see what they're made of. You want to see the head-to-heads. You want to see the ISOs where KD and LeBron going back and forth. You want to see that stuff. Don't rob the fans of that opportunity, all
You know,
because. Mhm.
no, you were saying finish up. I was just about to.
No, I'm just saying, like, don't rob the fans of the opportunity, all because we don't want to get hurt, or we want more money to do X, Y, and Z. Like,
Yeah.
this makes no
And
sense.
and you brought up Russ, and it's a great point. Like he gets hate. It's all the players that actually just care about basketball and are intense and competitive and dirty and stuff like that. Like Pat Bev, like Russell Westbrook, like Steven Adams. These guys, they don't care about the money. They just care about playing basketball. That's all they care about. So that's really, they don't get enough love. Like Russell Westbrook, he's one of the biggest competitors in the NBA without a doubt. Pat
Yeah.
Bev, always a competitor. Always, he gives a shit about playing basketball. Steven Adams, the fact that he doesn't get talked about enough is, I think, the biggest tragedy in the NBA because he is so underrated. He is such an elite center. When he's like he plays the center position, and you don't want to mess with him. He is the guy that literally backs up your team. Like, do you ever see the video of him just picking the dude up and like, all right, let's go.
Carrying him over to his
Picks up a
sideline.
grown man like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and the whole thing, he said, he was like, that's when they were talking, we were in the bubble, and he was like, it's fine, we're in a resort, guys. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah. Like I said,
Playing basketball
I
in a resort, like he just more down to earth, understands what's going on. So.
oh yeah. No. That's why him and guys like Russ, who like was together for a while because they both understood each other and understood exactly what each other were looking for. But like I say, I just think that if the name of the game is for the guys to make more money, then I feel like then we have to put out better product. Who do you know gets promoted for doing a bad job? Like I say, if I'm the commissioner, I'm looking like, well, we get bad reviews, bad remarks. And if we want to talk about more money, well, can we at least make sure the product's up to par before we try to get more money? Because if we just try to give you guys more money, now we're just scamming. Now we're just essentially scamming because we're giving you guys more money. So you're scamming us essentially. Like you're doing a better job. You're really not, and our product is still getting complained about at a higher clip.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta fix the one problem before they move on. Hang on. There we go. Fix my. No. Yeah, they gotta fix that, but, yeah, it's. Let's just get back to sports. No entertainment, no nothing. Let's not have, you know, tape, musicians and bands playing in between every period of the All-Star game, and, you know, the talk of the town is Usher and the flyovers and everything of the NFL, and the NBA is Monday and all. Can we just play the sports, please? That's
Well, the problem with that is that
play the sports.
if we end up getting there, it'll be very, very long from now because right now we're in the era of player empowerment. Player
Yeah.
empowerment.
What about fan empowerment?
Um,
What
I
happened to
get
fan
to
empowerment?
right. I get to decide what team I go to and what team I don't. Um,
This team didn't work out for your.
I got more leverage. A bunch of nonsense.
Yeah. Well, this is a topic definitely we can dive into more. Super Bowl really did a number on us. We were really disappointed by that, and just the whole NBA All Star game. Not a great time for sports, but baseball's coming back, so let's go Phillies.
So I see you. Yep.
Let's hope maybe we will win it this year. I don't know. It's going to be another long year, I assume, but maybe we'll break the streak this year. I haven't seen a championship for the Phillies since '08. I was 6 years old. I'm now 21, soon to be 22 when the season begins. So, yeah, it's been a while, but hopefully we'll turn around. I mean, Jesus Christ, Jay hasn't seen one in. When was the last championship you saw? I
Last
can't
what
follow it.
championship?
Who?
You said last championship for?
Well, obviously, the Chargers don't have one. Were you a Dallas
Oh
fan
yeah.
when Dallas won theirs?
I
I know
don't
you
think
were a
I
Dallas
was.
fan for a stretch.
I don't think I was alive yet when Dallas won there.
No, the Mavericks, not the Cowboys. No, obviously not the Cowboys. Shit.
No.
I know you're
Oh
a
no, I
Cowboys. I
wasn't.
know you're a
Yeah,
Cowboys
no,
fan, but
no, I'm not a fan of Cowboys. No, I wasn't even. That was in 2011. I wasn't a fan of Dallas. That I was rooting for Braun at the moment.
yeah, it's been a while for both of us. Let's just say that it's
Right.
been a hot minute.
So my Clippers gonna win this year.
Your Clippers. Your Clippers. Yeah. As long as they have James Harden, and I hate to say it, Russell Westbrook on a team, I'm sorry they just can't win in the playoffs.
Hey,
I
I'm
hate
super
hating on
glad.
Russ,
No, no,
but
I love
they
it. Keep
can't.
doing it.
They can't win
It's
with James
needed.
Harden. They
It's
can't win with
needed
James Harden.
because I look at polls today and they got us winning the West, and I'm like, no, 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 no. We're underdogs. We're not favored. We're not front runner. We're not favorites.
Oh, you're definitely not going to be favorites for long. Once you play
I
Denver,
hope not.
but
Right.
anyways, I hope Denver goes back. That would be nice.
Mm,
Denver or Milwaukee or Boston, anybody but the Sixers and the Lakers and the Warriors. Sixers just need a good loss to rebuild. They're not winning it this year, so I've come to grips with the Sixers. Like they're not winning it, so they gotta lose and hopefully rebuild and start over.
yeah.
The process failed. So yeah. Anyway, this 20-minute episode that we had in mind is now going on an hour and 8 minutes. So I think we can wrap it up here tonight. But yeah, great episode 118. Glad to be back, and we will be back more. And the account will have a lot more action and livelihood, as they say. And yeah,
Yes, sir. The
word.
show must go on, fellas, and we are back on. We will be back on shooting you guys with the sports news. So obviously, if you have anything you want us to talk about, anything you want us to cover, or you want to hop on the show, just get at us on our Instagram page. I mean, if not, keep watching, keep listening. Hopefully, some of our conversations we have spark conversation between you and your guys, you and your people. Get some good old healthy sports debates going.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one, my guy Jay. I will see you later, alright?
All right, my guy.